then, so today's recipe is going to be a very simple one. We're going to use this humble onion right here, and we're going to make pickled red onions, and I also have some radish, and we're going to pickle these as well, so let's do that. Alright, so we're going to start with 100 milliliters of apple vinegar. Now this is not apple cider vinegar, this is apple vinegar. It's much sweeter actually than apple cider vinegar, at least the one that I have here on the screen. And then we're gonna pour in 100 milliliters of rice vinegar as well. This is also fairly sweet, so it's not gonna be too sour, too tangy. We're also gonna add some sugar to this, so we're gonna bump it up to 200 milliliters. Then we're gonna add 200 milliliters of water as well. Next, we're gonna add 32 grams of granulated white sugar and 8 grams of sea salt as well. Next, we're gonna get a medium-sized saucepan, and we're gonna pour the liquid in. Make sure that it is a cold pan or pot. We don't want to burn anything, we don't want any steam at the moment. While this one is heating up, we're gonna start chopping up our onions and radish. Now for this recipe, I'm only gonna use half an onion, and I'm gonna cut the top and the bottom part off, and then I'm gonna slice it in half and peel one layer off. And if you want, and if you have, you can use a mandolin for this one. Otherwise, just use a very sharp knife and try to slice it as thin as possible. Now, it is entirely up to you what sort of pieces you want to put in the jar. I prefer the bigger pieces. The smaller ones are a bit more difficult to fish out if you want to put it on salads or something, so I prefer the bigger ones, but it is entirely up to you what you want to put in the jar. Make sure that it's nice and tightly packed. Now the radish is going to be a little bit different. Again, I'm gonna cut the top and the bottom part off, and then I'm gonna slice it in half, but instead of cutting very thin slices, I'm actually just gonna rough chop it. And the reason for that is because I prefer the texture that way, so there's a bit more crunch and bite to it compared to the onions. So obviously you're not going to put this into like burgers or something. This is sort of kind of like a side dish that you would put next to a meal, so you can take a bite. It's kind of like the Japanese pickled ginger that you can see in sushi shops, so you're not supposed to eat it with the meal. It's kind of like after each dish. It kind of acts like as a palate cleanser, so this is kind of the same idea with the pickled radish as well, that it's more like a palate cleanser and not really part of the meal. Alright, so now that our liquid is ready, we're slowly gonna pour it in. Be very careful, it's boiling hot. Obviously it reached boiling point, so we're gonna pour it over the sliced and chopped vegetables that we have here. Again, very slowly because it's super hot, and try to even it out. Obviously there are more onions than radish, so the onion's going to get a bit more liquid. Just make sure that everything is submerged, so it's going to pickle nice and even. And keep the lid off, don't close it, and you can put it in a cold place. You can put it somewhere where it's like room temperature, so maybe in the living room. Don't put it in your bedroom, because it's just gonna stink up the whole place. So keep it somewhere where there's like, you know, normal temperature. You can put it by the window as well. Just make sure that nothing flies into it, basically. So there you have it. That's how you make pickled onions and pickled radish. They're still cooling down, so this needs to cool down to room temperature. Then you can close the lid, you can put it in the fridge, and it's going to be good for several weeks, probably a couple of months as well, if it's cold enough in your fridge. And you can put this on pretty much anything. You can put it on burgers, tacos, you can put it in salads as well, so it's a fantastic and very versatile sort of condiment. So yeah, I guess that is it for today's video. Come and check back for another recipe soon. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon.